Just work with it.
All right, we on a new episode of the show, everybody. You know, we back at it again. Our our Uncle Pooh Bear is the third member now.
yeah. I'm officially on the staff.
All quarantine long.
All quarantine long.
Let's pop off what we got today. You can see Grandpa bust out his Heineken, as he likes to call it, European beer.
Boo.
Oh, thumbs up.
I got
back in the days of the Coliseum, Pooh would have got a thumbs down. Man, that would have been bad. Gladiator with drinking that stuff.
That's what your Heineken get.
I got Snakes and Shamrocks Irish Red Lager. This is gonna be interesting. I think it's pretty cool. I like Irish Red. See how that is.
Yeah, Irish Reds are pretty good. That's what that Killian's is. Irish Red.
I like that Killian.
yeah. So you might like that one.
I think you drink all the Killian's next to.
About episode 2 or 3, you introduced me to the Killian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. I thought.
Yeah, you like that one. That was nice.
Yeah.
I got another Bourbon County. Goose Island, Bourbon County.
Oh yeah.
But this is a 2015.
Okay.
And this one is bottled, barrel aged. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought it talked about the what was in it. I know it's like caramel. Oh, there we go. Intense aromas of charred oak, vanilla, caramel, and smoke. So, and this one is about 5 years old. So, when you aging them, they get around 5 to 7 years. You know, you kind of want to drink it, right? It's not gonna last forever and be great, right? So, I got a couple of these, so I figure I'll go ahead and crack it, and
so
we'll see.
You can't be drunk after 5 years. I thought you had to throw it away after 5 years.
That's that trash beer that you're drinking. You got to throw it away after 5 days. You shouldn't be buying it anyway.
Oh, okay, I got it wrong. I thought it was that stuff you drank.
Yeah, no, this is
5 years. You got to can it, cause
this one is 14.3% alcohol.
Your health after 5 years.
Is that glass from the Heineken, Grandpa? You probably shouldn't be drinking Heineken if it looks like that.
You need a new glass.
That was Alice. Had this blueberries.
Oh, okay.
Just boost my immune system. So I drink some blueberries. So when I drink my good Heineken, I'll reach that plateau. I'll get a benefit from it. You know, a health benefit. Follow me?
Ooh.
Okay. I mean,
drinking water does the same thing.
And here's the Heineken. Wait a minute, wait a minute, fellas.
Oh, I'm just smelling mine. I got real beer. Yeah, we got aromas. This is a whole process.
I haven't seen the head on the beer. Look at Josh. He going through. He didn't show me no head on that beer.
Yeah, he didn't drink his.
This was the preemptive taste.
Oh, this is where it's at. You see this?
And
you see the Heineken? Man, I should make a commercial with this one. Look at that. Look at the head.
Hold on, I'll be right back then. I'm gonna get a glass.
Oh wow! I don't see no head on yours, there, Pooh.
Yeah, well, what happened is over the years the carbonation dissipates, so it's not as carbon based. It's not so much carbonation, but
it's one step of being thrown away.
Woo, boy, nah, man, this is that good stuff, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, the alcohol comes forward, the sweetness kind of gets suppressed.
Yeah,
it smells.
I'm just wondering, is that a hood thing? You know, the
what?
Good stuff. Does that mean good means bad?
Yeah, that applies to your beer.
Oh, okay. Oh boy, I'm glad I got that one in though.
Yeah. Well,
hey, well, Josh is going. Did Hank send you the grandmother they played a joke on grandma about the virus?
Oh man, I seen some of those. I ain't seen the one Hank.
Oh man, I laughed so hard. I mean,
There you go.
it did me good because I haven't had a good laugh in years.
Yeah, she be serious, don't she?
Don't you be touching me. I ain't having that now. I'm getting it back.
Here we go.
Josh got a nice glass. He got a boot.
Hilarious. Look at that.
Now I got a boot. Look at that.
Beer? I think
Yeah.
Josh drinking root beer.
It's red like the Killians.
Oh, okay. Look like root beer to me.
It's red Irish ale.
Oh, okay.
Here we
Does it
go.
look anything like this?
No, mine's is way darker than yours.
That's what I thought. This here is this the real deal. Now, I don't. I've already gave it a rating a long time ago, so I'm starting out with maybe a 6. Got
Okay.
that? Okay.
I'm
Mm,
giving my boot.
definitely a 6. That's to start with. Definitely a 6. Yeah.
Trash. You mean more like a 2?
I give this one like a 7.5. I think Killian's is better than this.
How you get out of 7.5 if Killian is better?
Because we rated Killian's high. You gave Killian's a 10.
Oh, no, I ain't gave nobody a 10 yet. I'm saving that.
Yeah. You gave St. Pauli's Girl a 10. You gave Killian's a 10. What was it? You gave Stroh's a 10. You called the beer of beers.
Yeah. I was surprised though, when you took me to this place and they had beer Stroh's on tap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we went downtown. That was they brew it down there at the Detroit Beer Company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Detroit Beer Company. They have the contract to brew Stroh's downtown.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what though? That was on my birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was on your birthday.
Yeah, because the guy he gave me a 6-pack or something like that.
He gave you one. He gave you like a case of beer.
Okay.
He gave it was really nice. I don't even think they charged us. I think they just gave us a bunch of beer to try.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Uncle Pooh Bear ain't gave his critique yet. He just out here typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth with Chris.
We filming.
I'm not liking this.
You not liking it?
Nah, I think we got
Is Chris home?
Yeah. See, I took her a sample.
You communicate within the house.
Yeah.
Oh, just tell her to tell her to get the camera on her thing so she can rate beer and stuff too. She can
Let me tell her.
I don't know. They might double team us. Yeah.
Crystal loves us. She ain't gonna be mad. Man.
Yeah, no, but she's over here. She's like, I don't know. I don't like this. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't that good. So what happened was Goose Island in 2015, they had some infected batches. So like something got in and
beer.
Yeah, it infected the batch in 2015. So like you could get your money back for them or you could roll the dice, right? So I've never had a bad one though. Like I've drank many of these. And I think this might be an infected one. So
infected like how?
It don't taste nothing like it should taste.
Oh, okay.
Can it make you sick or something? Or
ain't none of that.
So like
infected as in it's not in its pure state. So it's like this little, almost like acidic tang to it. That's just, it's nothing like the beer. So this is the beer that I drank last week, just a different year and a different type. So it's supposed to be like real warm with the bourbon overtone. This is supposed to have caramel in it and like a smoky flavor. But like, yeah, all right, here she comes. She say this is disgusting.
Oh,
Hey,
terrible?
people. I haven't stopped frowning since you brought it to me. Hey, Pops.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
I'm mad at this disgusting beer.
I told you.
No, it's just infected, Pops.
You said it right.
No, it's just that it's infected. That's what.
It's infected. But it is disgusting though, right?
Man,
that
y'all
one
look like
is, yeah.
That one I-
y'all in the '90s Wu-Tang video. All this background changing, making you invisible.
Hey, no hate, nephew.
Well, you see, I'm drinking some stuff don't get infected. You know, the Heineken always the same.
Because it's always disgusting. That's what's the problem.
Last drop.
Always disgusting. That's the difference. Miles, we're gonna have to get you to do better. That's what we're gonna have to do in this here world.
Grandpa said Heineken is the sickle cell trait of beer.
Oh my gosh.
It can't catch disease.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible. That is horrible. Yeah, it definitely is horrible.
Now that we have a woman on the show, Grandpa, we actually get viewers.
Ah. So how y'all been?
Just rating. I got this snake and shamrock Irish red lager today.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
It's not as good as Killian's.
No, Killian's is actually cool.
Yeah,
it's actually cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
because
it has a more. This has a more citrusy taste. Like it tastes like it's not bad, but the aftertaste reminds me of if you brush your teeth and then drink orange juice immediately afterwards.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, like that's the aftertaste. Like when you drink it, it's fine, but when it gets to right about here, it's just like.
Yeah. Oh, you got the boot today too, the infamous boot.
Well, I forgot about. I was like, I don't think I have tall enough glasses right now, so.
That's
see, the thing is, nephew, Brandon held it down that day with the boot. You got to practice the boot. Pops, you see that? You see what your grandson is drinking out of?
Oh no, I didn't. Hold it up.
Show him, nephew.
Oh, it is the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon was crushing.
And it's a technique to it. You're supposed to spin it at a certain point, and it helps you drink it fast. That's a competition boot.
Brandon was killing it.
Yeah, he did. He represented very well. Yeah, he did. So.
Well, since you're here, I guess you could get on some of our topics today. We are talking about how you heard about how in California they're trying to introduce not having to use the SAT or ACT to get kids to college.
I have. I don't know. Like on some levels, I'm cool with it. Just because, honestly, I am cool with it because those numbers don't really show too much of anything. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that they're fully prepared for school, and not everybody tests well. So I'm actually cool with not think about it. Yeah, I am. Because these kids put too much pressure on themselves to take that test over and over and over again just so they can get a certain score. And I don't even think that's necessary.
So you're saying that something that takes like 4 hours to do shouldn't be judging you the rest of your life?
Absolutely. Good way to sum it up, nephew. Good way to sum it up.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That's it. Makes sense to me.
Yep. I'm with you, Pops. Pop said so, it got to be true.
Yeah. Gotta be some truth in it.
Huh?
I said, it gotta be some truth in it.
Yeah. No, it's all true. If you say it, Pops, it's true.
Oh, okay.
I think the part of it is they're going to replace it with something different. They say a new holistic approach. I don't know what that means yet, but I know that it's going to be different.
No,
I got some work to do. Actually, I'm hungry, and have fun. So y'all have a good day, y'all.
Okay, it's all right, cool. We asking the hard questions today.
You went and got some more of that.
Didn't send me that.
Effective beer. Oh, he don't even hear his grandpa.
Here, right?
He don't even hear his grandpa.
Oh, what you say?
I just said you went and got some effective beer, eh? Affected.
Infected.
Yeah. No, I swapped it out. So I got a 2016 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this one is oak, charcoal, hints of tobacco, and vanilla with signature bourbon character. So this one tastes much better.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh man. Well,
that's better, eh?
All right, well, I guess we covered the testing real quick. It's like, yeah, we don't care. It's get out of here.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I mean, I think it's a good step forward. I'm interested in knowing what the replacement's going to be, because they already started saying like, yeah, we're going to do something different. So what that different is, I don't know if it's good or bad yet.
Oh, with the testing?
Yeah, they're going to have they already talking about they're going to have another way of I guess testing or moderating or figuring out what your I guess skill or education level is, depending on what school you're trying to go to. And I think it's going to be university by university's choice. So everything's not going to be the same each place you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on college these days anyway, so I don't know what what really to make of it all. I think it's overpriced. It's like the gig is up right now, like they're gonna have to stop charging so much. Now that so many people are gonna go.
It's a force multiplier. If you have the funds to play the game, then it's it helps you get indoors. But that's kind of interesting when I just said it like that, because if you have the ability to pay for it without being a crux on you, you may not even need it at all.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Grandpa, I don't even know. Grandpa, did you go to college?
Junior college.
Because I know back then it wasn't even needed.
I took a couple of courses of community college. I had going on for further education, but time and money, you like what you're doing when you're working and you're making some money, and that kind of shelves that higher education, higher education,
Well, it's also a different time thing. Like when you were coming up, it was easier to buy a house and buy things like that without going to huge amounts of debt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
I was talking to somebody. I was trying to think of who it was just recently, and I was saying about how they can. Okay, let me see if I can put it like that. I told you several times where you make $1.50 an hour, right?
Yeah.
And you can make a car payment, right? And they didn't give you 6-7 years to pay for a car. They give you 2 years,
Wow.
And maybe possibly give you 36 months to the max, right?
Yeah.
Now let's think about this. And you're making $1.50 an hour, right? Now, if you can pay a mortgage and
car payment,
on $1.50 an hour and support a family, what happened? Can anybody explain that? What happened over the years where now $1.50 an hour get you a hamburger? No, some won't even get you a good hamburger.
Yeah,
prices went up and wages didn't.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was hitting at. Everything went up, but the wages kept falling backwards and backwards and backwards.
The people who own the companies, they took all the majority of all the gains and kept it for themselves. Like I was actually talking to
except for Ford Motor Company and General Motors and Chrysler Corporation, they stayed in the ball game, and a person was able to stay with those companies and make a decent living. You could still buy the car, the mortgage, the insurance and stuff with those companies. But the rest of the folks, man, they started taking salaries and giving it to some employment agency who gets the money and give you a job, which is going to be temporary, So that's basically what happened. Somebody else who got some of your salary. Instead of giving it all to you, they gave it to a private private employment.
It protects them from certain things. But I was talking to Ashley about this yesterday about this whole pandemic situation probably changing how businesses do business and how they do finance, because you're seeing big companies, small companies, everybody on the brink of either going out of business or having huge financial problems. And it's I think in part to bonus structure and how they actually did saving. Like, you hear a lot of people admonishing normal people for not having savings, but when you see big corporations talk about we can't afford to pay people, what were you doing all the profit you were making? Like who got all that money? Because you should have enough money. Like if you're telling normal people have enough money for 6 months, a corporation should be able to fully fund its people for a period of time before laying off people. And that's not what happened. You saw within a week or two, we're talking like, how many millions of people got laid off in the first couple of weeks of this pandemic? And like, corporations are supposed to be like, people at this falsehood that major corporations are just people who own businesses in general, like mid-tier businesses are like, oh, they're supposed to have their stuff together. Of course, they're going to have money to be able to pay their staff and function for a few months, but that's not what we're seeing happening. Like we're seeing major collapse, and in the next month or so, if the government doesn't do another, I guess, stimulus injection into the stock market, then we're going to see stock prices just collapse.
And that is that a couple of years ago we had 500 billionaires. Now we got 700 billionaires. Now, there's only so much money, so it's not a matter of, it's a matter of the money being shifted. So the 700 billionaires might be, you might have got some of your salary, your 8 hours a day. You might have got $1 on the quarter, your $10 an hour.
Well, I actually believe that's called wealth calcification, where the people who are in the top echelon, like the 700 people you said or whatever, families,
billionaires,
who get all that, who have majority of that money, are keeping it. They're like they're hoarding it, and they're not dispersing the wealth. Like the lie was that like this trickle down lie, or that people are gonna like, oh, more profits means more people gonna have jobs, more people are gonna get bonuses, and that's not true. Like you're just not seeing it. I mean, there's some places who do it, but when you get higher jobs, some places are like, oh yeah, we have a nice benefit structure if you stay here, and there's always like, if you stay here this many years, you'll get the full brunt of it. But on average, people aren't staying at jobs as long enough to reap those benefits. So where does that money go that you were working for and towards to have? It goes right back into the company or to the executives or whoever, but it doesn't really go to the people, which is who are affected by it, which is who you need to be consumers. But it's, that's something else. That's a whole another can of worms. Oh, I'm waiting for Uncle Pooh Bear to hit me with something. I know he done wrote books about this.
Yeah, he got his knowledge glasses on.
That's my IKC glasses. I mean, this country capitalism ain't built for regular people. It's not built for average people. It's not built for the working class. It's built for the pleasure of the rich. They control all of the legislators. They control the politicians. They control the president.
You know what you sound? Sound like you've been reading some of Richard Wolff.
No, I don't know Richard. I don't know Richard Wolff, but I know that our country is dominated by lobbyists. And anytime a person, a corporation is considered a person, so that it can give unlimited campaign funds to the politicians, then the regular people, it don't matter who you vote for. That's why it doesn't matter who you vote.
That was really stunning when the Supreme Court said a corporation is a person.
Yeah, but all they friends are millionaires and billionaires. So they're just looking out for their financial circle.
Right.
So like we running around talking about vote, we gotta get Trump out. Like Biden's gonna do the same thing. Obama did the same thing. Bush before him did the same thing. They were all bought and sold by the rich conglomerates, and they do their bidding. Yeah. So I mean, regular people can argue and talk all until they blue in the face. Unless you overthrow the money in politics, then you just playing with your stuff. Like,
you know what? I think we should talk about some solutions to that. I think, Cooper, can you speak on this a little bit? How can I, as a normal citizen, make myself into a corporation? Or make a corporation out of my name or whatever in order to guard some of my wealth? Because I know there's ways to do it. Because I know I've looked into getting an EIN number and stuff like that, but I know that's part of it. Because like I mean, if it's there to play to play the game, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to study.
One is, does the what's the LLC license? Is that the road to being a corporation, being a person? I mean,
Well,
you start limiting your liability. What I'm thinking in terms of,
yeah, well, it's a corporation, so that's just one form of it. You
I
have
say,
C corp,
it's sort of limited
S corp.
your responsibility. In other words, you can go in there and belly up and don't lose everything.
Yeah, so it depends. You can't have a regular job and do that, but you can
No.
open.
I'm saying if you got a business, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, with LLC license.
yeah, and then those businesses can give unlimited campaign donations.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a racket in the open. Like they're not even hiding it. Like, but the people are just too caught up in Republicans and Democrats and arguing over nothingness.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, like, as regular people, I mean, we could take advantage of some of this stuff, like that. Have making yourself to a corporation. Like, I think, isn't there a way where you can sign when you get a job? Because this happened to me a few times as a consultant, where they asked, "Do you want this W-2 or do you want this corp to corp?" Where you can just get all the money and send it to your corporation, have your corporation pay you. Now, I'm not sure how many people can do that, but I think the option is there. Like, is it? I guess if you can explain it in a way that it's simple, like you don't gotta say all the tricks or anything, but just in a way that's said, like, like you're talking to a 5-year-old, like basically, is it how hard?
I'm not familiar with being able to work for somebody. Like, you would have to sign up as like your corporation got hired. So like, rather than you, Josh, as this employee with the company employs Josh Incorporated.
Yeah.
And then pays them directly, and then that would be like a vendor relationship, or a they just outsourced or whatever to your company or whatnot, and then that way you can participate in the benefits of owning a corporation, which the major benefit, beyond if you got hundreds of billions of dollars and you buy in politicians, that's a dope one. But if you're just a regular business owner, then the major benefit is when you get paid, you spend your money first and then you pay taxes on what's left, as opposed to regular employees who get their money, taxes is already taken out, then they spend what's left after taxes.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a that's how you get. That sounds like that's how you get ahead a little bit.
I was talking about Richard Wolff and Cliff Hedges, and their basic thing is the game is rigged. You've been had.
Yeah.
The game is rigged. You've been had. You come up with all kind of ideas and things, but the game was already rigged. When you sit down to the table,
yeah, you sat down, you was in trouble.
Like you were saying, no matter whether it's Bush or Obama or Clinton or whoever gonna be president, but the game is already rigged.
Well, but just like any game, Grandpa, there's ways for anybody, if you're paying attention to how the moves are being shifted, to at least get yourself a little bit further along. I'm not saying you're gonna be a billionaire overnight or anything. I'm just saying there's ways to play the game smartly.
Yeah, yes, a lot of people do it. Just like in cards.
You may not win, but you ain't gonna
lose. Because he learned to count cards, they call him a crook. He's in there playing cards, and he counting the cards. You get up, get out of here. Hey.
That's
you ain't
nice
going. You know what's out there.
Ain't nothing like casino security. They're not playing any games. They're not calling the police at the casino.
They count cards.
They're not calling the police at the casino. If you get called counting cards at the casino, they go. You gonna wake up in a ditch.
Yeah, right. Or the Detroit River, right?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I guess the Detroit River probably got a lot of stories to tell.
I'm sure.
That's crazy. That's some funny stuff, man. I mean, what I can't even. It's interesting, man. I was waiting for just shift gears a little bit. I was waiting to be able to go into the casino downtown and make sports bets. And that same week, everything got shut down. And it's hilarious. It's a life joke because I was ready, man. I'm like, I'm gonna put all this money on this games. I'm gonna be on the come up, do some parlays, and that same week they're like, oh yeah, by the way, pandemic, so we're gonna close this down. Like it just started in Michigan, so it would have been a good time.
Okay.
Sports betting is like what? The last great frontier until they get into like real combat sport, gambling. Like that's the next logical step because it's people only like certain mediums for so long before they want the next level of depravity, right? Like it's not just gonna stop. It's not just gonna stop in sports. Like there's gonna be something else, and I'm fine. I mean, like I accept the fact that that's where the world, like everything tends towards entropy, right? Like everything is going towards the end. Like once you're on the ride, you can't go back. Like you know what I mean? Like there's no way. Like no matter how this sports gambling thing goes, no matter how any of this stuff goes, you can't put it back in the cage. Like you done already made it legal. People are gonna push forward until the next big thing happens, and it just goes from there. I don't know, Grandpa. Like you don't seem to care too much about sports gambling at all.
I was just thinking about gambling in general. I was thinking that gambling was illegal until somebody got a part of the action. Now you can get your credit card now and gamble in the grocery store.
Somebody lobbied for it, like Uncle Pooh Bear said. Somebody with a lot of money lobbied the government, and they got gambling legal.
Went from illegal to legal.
I was talking to my friend like last week about like finding out how much money is to like buy seats, right? Like in the city of Inkster, I think it costs $500 to win the mayoral seat. Like if you just spend $500, you can buy enough campaign materials and ad time and all that to get enough people to know your name in Inkster to win the mayoral seat.
Oh yeah.
Like it does. Like
you need like 3,000 votes or something.
1,000 there, man, and go on and win me a seat.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it's really like I mean, it's not like money can absolutely buy you an election, but it helps. Like these small towns, most people are just voting people's names that they know. Like people don't even know who these people are. They're just like, well, I know this guy's name. I'll vote for him. Like if you just advertise that you're running, like what's next mayor election in Inkster, Grandpa? If we just throw a couple $100 together, I'm sure we can make you win it.
Oh yeah, why not?
He said we
have Inkster. What's the population? I want to at least have 50,000.
I don't think 50. I don't even think 50,000 people in Inkster. I think when I was in high school,
if I ain't got 50,000, I don't want to be mayor.
So it's got to be a big enough city for you to want to be mayor.
24,381 people as of 2018.
I'll wait till we grow.
Oh, you're gonna be waiting a long time.
Wow, Inkster was settled in 1835.
Yeah, okay.
What was it called then?
After 1835. What was Inkster's peak, I wonder? Can you check that? The height of their population.
I think when I was in high school, it was like 40,000 people in Inkster.
It was 40,000? And
32,000 back in 31,000, almost 32,000 in 97.
Oh, okay. 32,000. Oh, man, that's still kind of weak.
Hey, I'm just, you gotta start small, Grandpa. I mean, see if you can control the city of 30,000 people first before you can go to 50,000.
Well, maybe you can grow it to 50,000, right?
Yeah, think about that, Grandpa.
That's something to think about. What do you
but
Inkster has a full-time mayor, though, don't they?
Yeah, but like in all serious, Grandpa, like think about it. There's studies that people have done that shown how much it costs to win a seat of any office in like this in a city. And I remember I looked it up for Inkster, and it was like $500. $500 can win you the mayoral seat in Inkster.
Oh,
So I mean, like, it's really just getting your name out there. People just knowing who you are, knowing what your name is. You just making some base statement that most people can agree with, like a slogan or whatever, and people vote for it.
name recognition is the key to the whole thing. You go statewide, and when you're voting, a lot of people, you don't even know who's the prosecutor and who's running this or the Supreme Court, what. But that name, that name, I remember that name. He might be related to somebody who once had that name. You know, your name means something in voting, you know. Otherwise,
Name means something for everything.
About the person except that name recognition, I see somebody I might know, you know.
Oh, name means something for everything. Words have power. Like this, there's a reason why things match their descriptor. You know, like I believe it was forgot what the scientist's name was, but it was like the Mr. A theory. Like Mr. A in any other universe would always have the characteristics of A. Like even if you called him Mr. B or if you called him Rock or Cat or whatever, he would still be him. Like your name and the things that go along with that, or the things that go along with naming things, have real I shouldn't say solid, for lack of a better term, solid consequences to this in normal life. You know what I mean? Like, for example, there's certain words that make people uncomfortable that if it's associated with you, it's like a black spot. Like, you know, like no one wants to be like I don't know, what's the name that people don't name their kids anymore they used to name back in the day? That doesn't carry, that would be like, oh, that's just bad. You don't want to name your kid that.
What? Like Bertha?
No, I mean, like, for example, like if say someone who was like a criminal or like a sex offender, like in the 90s came out, and then like, 5 years later, no kid, like all that name dropped off in terms of popular names. Like say Billy was like a mass murderer and a child rapist. No one's naming their kid Billy for like 10, 20 years. Because they don't want their kid, because people don't want the negative connotation. Like it may sound preposterous or silly, but that stuff happens. Like I guarantee you, like there's probably hundreds if not thousands of names throughout history that were really cool at one point, but then someone did something really weird or something really bad, and then you just never hear that name again. It is because I don't want to be associated with that. It's just like, I got a good case in point. It's probably why a lot of people don't name their kids after religious figures anymore as much, because it's like, oh, don't name your kid Jesus because he's probably gonna be an asshole. Like no one ever lives up. No one ever lives up to those names. You might think I'm crazy, but I mean, think about it, man.
Oh my God! I don't know what I thought you was gonna say, but I didn't see that coming.
No, I mean, like, you don't want to put that pressure on people, and then it turns around backfiring, and then they become like the scum of the earth. Like, and then no one names their kids that anymore. Like, you don't want to have your name associated with something bad, because now you're going to be erased throughout history. Like, you don't see people named Caligula or Nero or any other tyrant or despot's name. I bet you're not going to see a bunch. If someone's named Trump now, you ain't going to see no more Trumps anymore.
I don't know about that. He got a real fan base.
I'm talking like fine. You don't see how many.
I don't know. There are a lot of folks, man, be naming their kids Trump.
If they are, they're telling on themselves. Like how many Adolfs, how many Stalins do you see walking around today? Mm-hmm. It's just people don't want. It's branding. When you have bad branding, people want to distance themselves from you. You know, I had went off the rails with my crazy opinion today. That's my rant. That's my name rant today.
That was hilarious. Yeah, Pops, where you at on it?
I was just gathering my thoughts,
The Heineken is taking him to a different place.
Yeah. That Heineken got him going, huh?
It's the beer of beers, man. This is it.
That's like the fourth or fifth beer of beers. You didn't call it something the beer of beers.
Yeah.
It's like a council of beer of beers now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I guess we're winding down. We're just kind of talking. Oh, I guess I'm talking crazy. They're talking sense right now. You guys want to wind down to give any closing thoughts on the show today?
Well, we hoping Pops drink better beer and show us more pictures of that grass.
That's what I was going to say about that grass, Hank showed you what I can do, right?
Man, I seen it.
Oh, you seen it, okay. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. I'm going to have the grass of grasses.
It's going to get better?
Oh, it's going to get better.
How much better? How much better than the best can you get?
Yeah, you just rubbing it in now.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's a lot better than the best, It's like you can go from excellent to outstanding.
Okay, all right.
Outstanding.
I see it. From excellent to outstanding, you don't just be excellent, you be outstanding, Shit.
That's a level. That's a level right there.
That's another level, right?
Yeah.
I bought some, since we were talking about grass, I got me some geraniums, and I needed a little something to highlight that green,
Yeah.
Take your eyes to over there, and that red brings it out. You see that red, so, oh man, look at that guy's lawn, Hey, I'm working on it.
Where are you putting the geraniums?
Sort of bordered. I have not too many of them. Yes, there is. I bought 20.
Oh, not too many.
Only at $3 a piece, I got the boys in full bloom,
Okay.
Yeah, so I might even get some more. But I'll just use the highlight, not a whole lot of them right clumped together. One here, another 3 or 4 feet, another one, just to get your attentions on my lawn, Yeah.
So you putting that in front of the porch?
Yeah, every year I always do it in front of the porch and along the bushes on the side of the house all the way down,
Mm-hmm.
separated maybe by 3 feet, 3-4 feet between each geranium,
Okay.
just sort of, kind of conservative like, but it does highlight it. It get your attention, then you see that line, you say, wow, that line's going to be all right.
Give it a little pop of color.
Yeah. Science. Do you change out the soil for where you plant your flowers and stuff every year, or do you just leave it there?
Say that again.
Do you change out the soil when you replant your flowers and stuff, or you just leave it?
No, I pull up the plants. But when I dig a hole for the new ones, like now, they still were in the pots. They're still in bloom, but they're in the pot about like so. Maybe 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, maybe 5 inches across diameter. And so when I take them out and put them in the holes that I dug, I don't put the dirt back that was there. I got some more soil, to put in there. So around it be, real soft. So next year, if I'm living, going in there, it's easy to come out and dig and put another plant in there, Because it don't get hard,
Why do you start off in the pot and not just put it directly into the dirt outside?
Say that again.
Why do you start out in the pot and not just directly?
Come in the pot. I put them in the hole and get them where I want them. Then I take them out of the pot. They're plastic pots.
No, I'm asking you. So like you start them off in the pot, right?
Start them off in the pot.
Yeah, like why do you start them off?
I buy them in the pot, right?
Oh, I thought you were growing them in a pot.
No. It was $3 a piece. But I learned because they're in full bloom, blossom. Well, before I'd buy a whole tray of them, and then I kind of nourish them, to bring them up. It worked pretty good, but I like them already, in full bloom.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any insights on your lawn, Uncle Pooh Bear?
Nah, man. I know I ain't get the lawn gene. that ain't get passed down to me. That's Crystal Lawn. She the one into that grass.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she be out there. You know me. I the way I feel, we could just dig it all up, put down like some put down nothing. We put out concrete all I care.
You
Put
know,
down some
working in the yard in the grass, it's kind of what would be the word for it? You know,
therapeutic.
it's therapeutic. Yeah, thank you very much. It's therapeutic. to me, 'cause
I just know that because that's what she said.
yeah, it is. It's therapeutic. And I was looking for the word, but you brought it out for me. 'Cause,
It is nice to watch your lawn get to a certain point where it's just like, oh man, I did all this work I didn't put into it, and the grass is at the same level, it's the same species, the same thickness, all throughout. That's an accomplishment.
I did it.
Because I'm
Yes,
in the stages. I'm in like the stages of I went from complete desolation to starting repair. So complete desolation to starting repair to it's starting to look like something. That's where I'm at now. It's starting to look like something. It's not there yet.
Okay. Well, so far I've been pretty pleased with my results, front and back, you know. And I put my geranium down in the front. I'm gonna put the geraniums in the back, just to give it that color, eye-catching color, that red, you know.
Well, when you get them down, you have to take some more pictures.
Oh yeah, oh definitely so, definitely so.
My
I
lawn,
didn't know Hank had sent you that picture, you know, this morning, you know.
my lawn is a life. It's a life joke.
On Facebook, you see it, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, it was nice. It was a good picture.
Yeah.
But that my lawn is a life joke. The front part where I put a lot of time and attention into, it's just now starting to look nice. The backyard, which I didn't even really try, that's the one with the most lush grass. Everything looks nice. Flowers are sprouting in the backyard. Like we found some strawberries in the backyard.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
didn't plant strawberries. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like I put in like for real. I got like a little aerator and everything. I was doing everything in the front lawn. I'm like, I gotta get this grass to grow. And like I ain't even really do anything in the backyard other than cut the grass, and it's just sprouting flowers and stuff. I'm like, come on now. But yeah, but I think that we can wind down now. We can wind down the show. Look, let's get our final thoughts on the episode of whatever spread of chaos transpired today.
Random thoughts and beer.
I can say, my final thought is you guys follow me. You can't go wrong, man. Because I drink the good stuff. Final thought.
I think we might change the show to that.
Final thought.
Random thoughts and beer.
Random thoughts and beer. Yeah.
I think that might be that's where quarantine is going right now. Random thoughts and beer. Yeah, I keep getting called. I'm going to call some people back. But thank you guys again as always. I might actually change the show to that. Random thoughts and beer. At least during quarantine until we can get more stable routes of getting different types of beer.
Yeah.
This is now the Random Thoughts and Beer show.
We got a show day.
All right.
It's good chatting with y'all today. I enjoyed it.
As always, I love you guys. I'll let you guys know when it's up. I'll send you guys links and we can have fun with it.
Oh, excellent. All right, love y'all too. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
Ready with some random thoughts.
Yeah. I always got some of those.
Oh, yeah. All right.